Hello. Welcome to day 1543 of Connecting the Thoughts. Code for today is emotional weight is heavier. Emotional weight is heavier. And what do I mean by this? I will bring in my partner in conversation for this week, Khadija, on board as we discuss this
Hello,
today. Hello, Khadija. How have you been?
I'm good, thank you.
Super. And we are today talking about emotional weight, something I enjoy talking about, bringing awareness about, because this is something very close to my heart. Let me know your thoughts about this.
Well, emotional weight, when I think about that, it comes to my mind that a lot of time overwhelm, as I often mention, that comes to my mind. And I think that's because we do not sit with our emotions and we don't reflect. I've noticed that if you reflect, if you sit back by yourself, then you're better able to understand your emotions as compared to you just going on and on in life, going about your business, not giving yourself the time to reflect. Then it's like a glass bottle, like you're not sort of addressing the emotions, labeling them, or understanding them. So what happens with the glass bottle, that you keep filling it up and it's being filled up, and then there's a point after which you just cannot add anything to it. You're freezing, or is it me? Is there something wrong with your connection?
No.
Okay. I was sharing that it's like a glass bottle, really. That you keep filling it, and then there'll come a point when it just cannot take anymore, and that's like the point where you are overwhelmed, and it's like the point where you might collapse. Like if it was, suppose, not a glass bottle, an inflatable thing, it would burst, wouldn't it? So we're just filling it up and filling it up and not giving ourselves time. That's what they say, that it's always been equated, that solitude with wisdom, because people who give themselves the time to reflect and the space as well, they are better able to go over their emotions and understand them better. That's what really comes to my mind, Rukaya.
True. And I love the analogy you used of a bottle, because as I was thinking of that bottle, I was also thinking of how people keep their emotions bottled up. Right? It's pretty much that. You're keeping your emotions constantly bottled up, and because your emotions are bottled up, you are also leading to a lot of heaviness in your heart. You're feeling heavy, you're feeling drained, you're feeling tired, because there's so much of emotional residue that you are carrying around with you. And because of that heaviness, tiredness, that anger, bitterness, we want to find an outlet, we want to find a possible way to soothe ourselves. And very often food tends to be that solace, right? Because there's comfort in food, there's comfort in knowing I can reach out for that piece of pastry, I can reach out for that bar of Kit Kat. That's my go-to. So it's and then food then transfers that emotional weight into actual physical weight as well. So if you notice, those people who are angry, those people who are upset or have emotions that they're holding on to, also tend to hold on to physical fat. I mean, no offense to anybody, but sometimes it does happen that there is weight gain involved, because the levels, the happy hormones keep going down when you're upset, when you're out of sync, when the emotions are on the wrong side of the spectrum. Then obviously the dopamine levels are going down, and you need
Yes.
to pick that up through other sources.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, actually, it's counterintuitive. Like when you're having comfort food and you're eating and eating, and then one fine day you realize that you've piled up all that weight. and then you start feeling worse, you feel start
Snowball.
feeling depressed, yes,
Further.
towards that added weight, and then it's like a vicious cycle that goes on and on.
True. And I think another thing that a lot of times we hold on to is that expectation to live up to other people's expectations. You know, that emotion that you have to be good enough for someone else, and it's only when I am good enough for that person, then am I good enough for myself. A lot of things we kind of, I mean, I feel that a lot of times there are a lot of emotions that keep repeating themselves. They keep showing up and making their presence known, and we kind of do not want to address them because they would
Yes.
make us uncomfortable. And what makes us uncomfortable, we try to avoid. So it just keeps adding up.
Absolutely. I'd like to give an example of my own personal experience. Own is personal. Well, anyhow, um, before I got married, all my life I was a very, very calm person. Like, even if we were to go for an exam, my um, class fellows and all the batchmates, they would be really anxious and they would always envy me that, why is she so calm and why is she so composed. And what happened was that when I had kids, I realized, and children, uh, they have experienced so many emotions. We as adults, we struggle with emotions, naming them and trying to manage them. So as children, they totally, new. They're new for them. The emotions are new for them. Handling them is, something out of question. So as a mother, you have to, or to young children, you sometimes have to manage their emotions too.
Exactly.
So when you're managing their emotions and your emotions, that's a lot of emotions to deal with. And so what happened was that, since I did not realize this part, that I'm managing them and I'm managing myself, and it was like too much for me. So what started happening was that I started getting really anxious.
Hmm.
And all my life I've been to dentists, and even they would always appreciate that, she's the best patient that we have, and always calm and everything. So what happened was I had to get my wisdom tooth extracted, and I was really anxious. Before that, a week before that, when I went to the doctor, I actually had to stop him in the middle of the procedure. I had to tell him that, please stop. I'm getting really anxious, and I wanted to control it, but I can't seem to control it. So, and then, afterwards, I reflected that why why did I get to that level of anxiety when I have been known as the calmest person? And all that questioning and that reflection made me realize that the thought of getting anxious was making me really anxious, because it's something that, I'd never been. It was an expectation that I had set from myself that, I have to be calm and I have to be composed. And when I wasn't meeting that standard for my own self, that was causing me anxiety. The thought of getting anxious was making me anxious. So I feel that, um, if you're a parent, you need to really then understand that you are not just managing your emotions, or you have elderly or dependents that you're with. Even they are like children, and somebody in their prime, that person is struggling with emotions, because we do not get the time. We're, in a going about hustling all day, and we don't often get time to sit with ourselves and understand ourselves and our emotions. And then, as children, they already, it's new for them. When they grow older, again, maybe it's short temper, or something which makes them less patient as
Hmm.
people grow older. So, I think when you're feeling that kind of weight, that kind of overwhelm, and you feel that, it's a weight that you just cannot carry on with, then I think we need to sit back and start releasing our emotions and realizing, and which ones are the most nagging ones, and try to
Hmm.
work on them. That's what I feel it can really be helpful.
Definitely. Definitely. I like what you said about being anxious, getting anxious about being anxious, because that's an expectation you had placed upon yourself. So, as you shared that, and as I look at our quote for today, and because the word baggage is there, emotional weight, baggage, it's a weight that you're carrying. So, what I'm thinking is, what if you took a step back, as you rightfully said, and
Yes.
unpacked yourself, unpacked your heart, and saw what was, as you said, what are the emotions that are needed, and what are the emotions that are nagging, that are heavy, and that we can kind of address. It's not about putting them aside, because every time you put aside an emotion and say, okay, I'm going to deal with this later,
Later.
it
Yes.
just means that something's going wrong, or something's being stalled, a lot like my screen right now, my video is installing. So so yes, I think it is definitely important to unpack your emotions. It's important to be honest with them. And if one of the ways that I think definitely has been helpful for me is journaling,
Yeah.
writing down, releasing emotions, and then kind of looking at it and seeing, what do I need to do with this? Do I need to keep this for myself as a reminder that, okay, I will not do this? Or do I just need to release it? Do I need to tear it, flush it, burn it? What do I need to do with it? Because just that physical act, for some people, they might say, oh, I've written it down, and are you asking me to be filmy by tearing it and burning it and all of that? But it
Yes.
isn't about that. There is a significance when you do a physical release. It works in your mind. Your body realizes certain things. There is a release that happens. Your senses are seeing that that thing is being released externally, and it's no longer a part of you. So it makes a massive difference when you take ownership and do that.
Yes, I haven't done that. I'll do that actually. That burning it up, yes, because uh, that can give you closure, I guess,
Yes.
in a lot of
Yes.
uh, ways. When you have unresolved issues from maybe past relationships and all, so that could be closure.
Yeah. Some people think it's silly, but actually it is not. When you do it physically, it's almost like you are assuring your mind and your body and your senses are seeing that it is being released. It is actually,
Yes.
you're letting it go. So we've spoken about my smile strategy on your platform previously, where L is let things go.
Go.
And what I mean by let things go is anything that doesn't serve you, whether it is a hurt that someone has caused you, whether it is a label that you've taken on, whether it is a fear, a failure, anything that you are holding on to as an experience, letting it go and allowing room for something new and fresh and vibrant to come in is super, super important, because
Yes.
emotional weight is heavier.
I think when you say letting go, it's beautiful, and we do get attached, not just to positive things. We even get attached to negative things.
True.
Even our negative emotions, we just I don't know. Maybe it's the fear of the unknown, being not ready to be uncomfortable with the new. So yes, we hold on with our dear life to emotions, negative or positive, and we do need
Absolutely.
to let go and liberate ourselves.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to take that word from you because I like that. So I am liberated. Today's affirmation: I am liberated from emotional weight. Every time you take account of yourself, every time you assess yourself, where you are in life, what is it that's weighing you down? What is it that's really making you angry, upset, and uneasy? Why is it that you're running for comfort in food, or in conversations, or in Unacceptable behavior. What exactly is it that is truly, truly bothering you on the emotional front? Ask yourself that question. Be honest with yourself and see how liberated that makes you feel. So, yes, thank you, Khadija, for your time. It has been fabulous having these conversations. I am looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes, and
And
I'm going
so
to be missing
that's
them because I think that's with the letting go part again. That I'd
it.
sort of gotten used to switching on every day at the same time, and sharing these deep, wonderful thoughts, because we do not do that every day. And this is something that needs to be done. That's something which energizes, at least it energizes me. I'm sure it's the same for you as well.
It has
So
been fabulous for me, and in fact, I want to say what both previous speakers have also said, previous past speakers have also said, but
sorry, I can't hear you properly.
previous speakers have also said the same thing. And interestingly, one of them had actually said, I have committed 5 days the same time to something, and now my calendar is blocked for that time, so I can use it for something else. 15 minutes, I can use it for swimming, for exercise, and it's my time for me. So thank you for creating that awareness, and you could do that too, inshallah.
Yes, 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 definitely.
So
I'm going
thank
to
you.
work on that. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for joining us. And guys, in comments, I am liberated. If this has been of value to you, tag a friend who needs to receive this message, share the video, give it a like. And until tomorrow, keep smiling, keep shining, stay safe. And thank you for connecting the thoughts with me. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, Khadija, once again.
Bye.
Bye bye.